Hello, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. Hi, Rob. How you doing?
Good, how are you?
Good. Nice to see you.
Do we need to know?
Yeah. How you doing? Good. Good. What a day. Hello. How are you? Oh, boy. Hi. Hey, Cosmo.
Everyone's so early today. I keep looking at the clock being like, it's about time, but we still got a whole 7 minutes, which is an entire Oscars program before we start. While you're getting comfortable, you'll hear me say this a bunch, we'll use all the props that we so often do. So blocks, strap, therapy balls over here. We'll do some things with the knees down if you'd like to grab a blanket. And we'll start soon. Every year the Oscars comes on, I realized I watched it only for a couple of minutes last night, only because I didn't watch a single movie that the Oscars were nominated for. I was listening to the list and I was like, all soft horror or very sad? No Jennifer Lopez romantic comedy up for consideration, which is my genre. But it was fun.
Well, the 8 films that were nominated, Hamlet, I think, is worth watching.
Is it? Okay. She was so gracious with her. No, I'm not giving any spoilers, I hope. But the person who won Best Actress, who may or may not have been related to Hamnet, I loved hearing her speak.
Yeah, she's effusive and passionate about everything. It's just her personality.
Oh.
It's nice, it's kind of unprepared
Yeah.
reaction to it all.
Yeah.
First Irish woman.
What's that? First Irish woman, that's right. Hello, how are you? Good. The only thing, the behind the scenes of, your phones are always listening to you, so obviously my phone knew I was watching the Oscars last night, so all of my algorithms were like, here's the content and previews from all the movies that you will probably never watch but can admire. And the thing that I loved, they showed about Hamnet, not knowing anything about it, it was such an emotional movie, even when filming, that after every scene, the director, Chloe Zhao, would have a big dance break to kind of release emotional tension. And she said something in an interview, she said, there's a very fine line between grief and ecstasy, or like bliss and joy, which is what we talk about that so much in the yoga practice. And after they filmed a huge scene, they turned on a Rihanna song, and you can watch the entire cast in all their period costumes breaking it down to Rihanna. I was like, I think I'd like to see that version. Hi, Jess. Good to see you. Yay! I saw your name on there, and I was like, I can't wait. Hi, honey. How you doing? Good. Miss you. Good. Yeah. All of her leaves are not blown away, but she lived her glory moment. It's a plant that I have in the front of my house, and then I submitted it into PHS. Yeah. Yeah. You've been traveling a bunch. Yeah. Oh my God. I love it. It's incredible, and it's also almost done, which is shocking. I know. Well, compared to, we Tetrised the schedule a little, so we end middle of May. You guys ended in June. So now we only have 3 weekends left, and then the next weekend is their teach weekend.
Was it accelerated?
Not accelerated, it's just, it's the same amount of weekends. I guess accelerated where some of the weekends was every other instead of giving 2 weeks off. But so far so good. Yeah, but we're doing the open to the public for everyone, and it's gonna be, from what I remember from your group, it's like you say you're about to create your sequence and there's like a flash of panic in everyone's eyes. So we're in that moment right now, and then slowly we're gonna build it back up, which I'm excited about.
Yeah. You can do it. I'll try to mark it in.
Yeah. No problem. Fully, yes. Emotional support is also helpful from far away. Okay. A few more minutes and we'll start. There might be some folks trickling their way in through the rain. But this afternoon, while you're getting comfortable, we'll grab all the good stuff. 2 blocks for sure. They'll help us a lot from where we're going towards. I'd love to get some time to roll with some therapy balls, a strap over here. And if you'd like any extra padding when we put our knees down on the floor, you can grab a blanket. I might have an agenda for the bolsters one day, but I don't have one today. But if you want to grab one, you're more than welcome to. Oh, God, sorry. It talks back. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Thank you for asking. It's a great universal question because even without knee injury, child's pose is a big hip opener, and so it's sometimes not even the most comfortable resting place for things to go. But some options might include, if you want the child's pose general area, some things that I like to do are sliding a rolled up blanket between my knees to create a lot of space so you can be here. If that provides any discomfort, puppy pose. Bowing in, so your thighs are vertical, the chest is open. Also, my favorite one, it's called the laying on your belly pose, and also full pranam. Did anyone watch that video of, I've been on the internet for a long time, for too long when I'm on my breaks. There was a video of the Japanese badminton player, I think it was, who was playing and he accidentally hit one of the ball people. And he went running. Has no one seen this? Oh my goodness. Your phones, if they're in the room, will now hear. But you know, in Japanese culture, from what I understand, is that you bow to show signs of respect. He was so sad about what he'd done. He went full sprint from his side and went like this to bow in front of her. And so when he does that, I think of, that's what we're doing. If you haven't seen it, it's very endearing. Everyone is okay, but I think about that a lot when I'm done here. Hi, you guys. Good to see you. Take your time. We'll start in a moment. We'll also use a strap and some therapy balls that are in the white baskets here. And for those that are just coming in, I can also bring props over to you as we start to move around. But feel free to grab anything it is that you need to get comfortable. All right. The time hath come. Happy Monday. Nice to be with you all. Lots of you are familiar. Some of us are new to one another. My name is Anisha, and I'm happy to be teaching. The clipboard is forever and always updated with all of the workshops and events and activities that are going on. One that I wanted to share before we get practicing, if you're interested in doubling back to the studio, coming back now, being here now, and then coming back in the evening, Kai, who is not only a martial artist, owns his own business, and also just graduated from teacher training last year, is offering a 4-week series called Rooted and Ready, where it's self-defense for yogis. So each week is different techniques, breath work, mindfulness in the art of self-defense. He taught it in the fall, and it was such a huge hit that people were clamoring at the doors to be like, when again? And it starts tonight. So if that's of interest, you can pop into one, into all of them, or 0. But that's Monday nights for the next couple of Monday nights, I think at 6:30. Yeah? All right, we'll begin. One scheduling thing I wanted to mention. So this month, as we are in the Ides of March. That was the crossword clue for today. The Ides of March was yesterday. We're midway through the point of March. For the remainder of March, I'm kind of teaching the same series all about stories of Shiva that will continue today as we start to practice the great Lord of Yoga. And starting in August, I do this each and every year, and it's so fun for me, at least, hopefully fun for you, but you get the decision to opt in or opt out. I'll begin my 7-week chakra series. So each class will be focused on a different energetic center, and we'll kind of cater and gear a practice towards each of the chakras. You can come to, again, one, all of them, none of them. If you miss one, you're not missing anything, but just to give you the future lay of the land. That's what we get in April and May. So for today, a few more stories about Shiva. The past couple of weeks, each class has been dedicated to a different either mythological story about our sweet friend up here, or something that he's holding, or something that symbolizes what he's working with. And as a reminder, Shiva is known to be one of the lords of yoga. There's a sculpture of him that's one of the oldest sculptures seen, indicating that he was practicing yoga in a seated meditation. And he is the progenitor for the yoga practice as we know it. He is also known as the Lord of Destruction or Dissolution or Transformation. He kind of comes into the stories and into the pictures when things have gone horrifically wrong and no one else can come save the day. And he arrives, and in all of his otherworldly powers, he'll either eat the demons, he'll stomp on them, he'll light them on fire, not for the sake of causing more chaos, but for the sake of clearing a path for something more fertile to grow, to rid what no longer serves, to create room for what might need a little more space to come in. It's not lost on me that his birthday and holiday is right around the time of spring, the time when it looks tough and grim out there, but there's a lot brewing underneath the surface. So one thing I want to share about him today is it's not specifically on this deity, but in each one of his hands, he's got 4 of them, he's doing and holding something different. And Shiva, whenever you look at or Google a picture of him, the weapon that he most famously is holding is the trident, the 3-pronged weaponry that he uses to walk around in, to poke at his demons, to destroy them, and to have it create a little bit more order. And so today's practice is kind of in reverence to the trident. And when you think or look at a trident, it's the one that has 3 points. And in the yoga practice, there's a lot of significance to threes. We often take 3 breaths, we do 3 cycles of things. And the 3 points can symbolize a few things. It can mean the earthly plane that we exist on, the plane in the sky, and the space that comes in between. It also symbolizes your physical body, your mental body, and your emotional body. And for Shiva, it connects him to all the planes of consciousness, the place of creation, the place of preservation, and the place of dissolution. So as we play with this trident shape, a bunch of different ways and orientations in our practice, the invitation and the question that I'll continue to offer is, which version of yourself are you experiencing? When we do it the first round, you might notice your physical body more. The second round, maybe your breath body a little more. And the third round, you might notice even a different dimension of yourself that may not have entered the space quite yet. But we'll see where it takes us. Take breaks, sip a lot of water. The fans will go on to combat this humidity as we start to get a little warmer. And we'll begin. I'm happy you guys are all here. Can you start lying on your back, please, with your head up towards the front of the room and feet all the way to the back of your mat. And as you come to lay onto the ground, some options. You might have your arms and legs long, more in that traditional Shavasana shape. If you're experiencing anything this afternoon in your low back or in your hips, perhaps you bend your knees, bring your feet as wide as your mat, and let your knees knock into one another so that the weight of your legs supports the other. So with your knees bent and feet on the floor. But anywhere you find yourself, draped down on the ground, let your arms rest alongside of you to feel every part of you connected to the earth. Let gravity hold and support you for a moment. And either with a soft gaze of your eyes to the ceiling or your eyes closed, can you begin to listen for your own breath? Each and every class begins with a moment to turn your attention more inward. And as you turn in towards that interior landscape, allow for each breath that you take to slowly dissolve the morning and the day that was. Let each gentle breath help you arrive to where you are now against the ground. And allow for each successive breath, create a little more space for what has yet to come. Each inhale provides the moment to begin and create again. The moment before the exhale, a pause to preserve and to sustain. And the exhale that dissolves, only to begin again. So as you continue to listen for and remember your breath, it might naturally begin to deepen, letting your next inhale move from your nose, down into your belly, and up into your chest. And as you exhale through your nose or parted lips, offer all of that breath out, softening you into the earth. Take a few more breaths here on your own, a longer breath in and down so it fills you up. And a deeper breath up and out through every fiber of your being. We'll start our practice and our time here with each other with 3 more rounds of that breath. So wait for your next inhale as it fills you up completely. And exhale to offer all of that breath out. 2 more times just on your own. At the bottom of your breath, pause for a moment. Take notice of any difference that comes when you listen for and really remember your own breath. And as you keep a thread of that connection inward, start to softly blink your eyes open. And everyone, bend both knees and bring your feet flat onto the floor if they're not already. Being mindful of your neighbors and any props, start by bringing your arms out to a T. And then bend your elbows to come into this trident shape, almost like a cactus. That's it. Let the backs of your hands, your forearms, and your elbows be soft. Heel toe your feet to come as wide as your mat. Take a big breath in. And watching for those props, drop your knees over to the right like windshield wipers on a car. As you breathe in, let your knees come back through center. Let your feet stay wide. Let your knees stay wide. And exhale to drop your knees over to the left. Do that one more time, a tempo with your breath. Inhale to bring the knees up, and long, slow exhales to let the knees drop over. Take a full breath in to let your knees come back up through center. Take your time. And exhale to let your knees get heavy to the left. Now on your inhale, let your knees come back through center. Begin to give your right leg a hug in towards your belly or chest, and start by making some small circles in your right ankle, moving in one and the other direction. See if you can spread your right toes as wide as you can spread them and point the toes and feel the arches and corners of your feet. Now after a few breaths, as your right ankle comes through center, interlace your hands behind your right thigh. Bring the webbing of your hands together. Keep your knee bent for a moment as you flex your right foot. And now press your right thigh into your arms as you straighten your right leg towards the ceiling. And now notice the difference of trying to pull the thigh towards your belly versus pressing your thigh into your palms. As the leg gets heavy into your hands, your arms might grow straighter. And can you shrug your shoulders to the ears, snuggle your shoulder blades together, and gently press the back of your head down into the ground. Breathe into those parts of you touching the floor. A bigger breath in. Stay for your exhale and start to point your right toes towards the sky. Feel more of your shin and the front of your ankle. Now as you bend your right knee, lower your right foot back to the floor. Other leg, give your left leg a hug and start by making some circles in your left ankle. We'll spend a lot of time balancing on one and both feet this afternoon, so see what it feels like to be off the feet for a second, maybe out of socks as you spread and point those left toes. Now as you draw your left ankle back through center, interlace your hands behind your left thigh. Try to take the awkward index finger on top. And instead of pulling the thigh towards you, press your thigh away from your belly and then begin to straighten your left heel towards the ceiling to notice what you feel. Let your thigh be heavy in your hands. Shrug your shoulders to the ears, wiggle the shoulder blades together. It's almost like your shoulders are like a fitted sheet trying to cover a mattress. Let the upper back soften as you take a big breath in. Stay for your exhale and start to point your left toes to the sky. Feel more of the front of your left leg. And now on your next exhale, bend your left knee, release your hands, give both of your legs a hug in towards your belly or your outer ribs. And take a breath here in the symmetry to notice any difference. And after a few breaths, the next place we'll meet is in tabletop facing the front of the room. So however you'd like to come off of your back, you might roll over onto one side or back and forth, but come onto all fours in a tabletop position. Maybe your blocks are framing out the sides of your mat. And in table, let your hands be under your shoulders, spread your fingers nice and wide. With your knees under your hips, begin to curl all 10 toes under to feel the arches of your feet. If you haven't started already, start to round and arch your spine, linking breath and movement through a few rounds of cat and cow. Let's take 5 cycles of breath here together, just on your own. And even here, through the repetition, it's layers of yourself that slowly start to peel back. The first few breaths, you might feel the physical body, parts of your spine, parts of your hands and knees. The next few rounds, you might remember your breath a little sooner than I suggest. And the next few, you might see what your breath and body do as they harmonize together. When you find your next exhale, come back to table, find your neutral spine. Begin to walk your hands a handprint forward of your shoulders, bring them as wide as your mat. Walk your knees a few inches back behind your hips, and with your toes curled under, we'll meet in downward facing dog. Take as much time and all the breaths you need to find your way there. Here in your down dog, you might pedal your heels one at a time from side to side. You might bend and straighten your knees simultaneously, but can you remember your breath? Take a deeper breath in and a longer breath out. At the bottom of your exhale, begin to lift both heels, soften your knees, look forward, and one foot at a time, walk your feet up towards your hands to come into your forward fold. The blocks are right there. Just like Shiva had the trident as his weaponry to help defeat his demons, you got yours here, all the props available to you. Your hands might be on your blocks. You might widen your feet an inch or two or soften your knees to give your low back some extra room. But as you bow in towards yourself, take a breath in through the nose and a deeper breath out in every direction of you. Climb your hands up onto your hips, stand down through your legs, and an inhale brings you all the way up to rise as your hands come down by your sides. Let your feet be right under your hips with your toes pointing straight ahead. Take a big breath in to reach your arms forward and up. And as you exhale, soften your knees to hinge at your hips and fold. Inhale brings you halfway up to lengthen, hands to your blocks or shins as you reach your chest forward. And on your exhale, fold, plant your palms onto your sticky mat and step it back to plank pose, the top of your push-up. Now your knees might be lifted. You might tap your knees to the floor behind your hips, but with your hands as wide as your mat, take a breath, push through your arms, feel your shoulder blades broaden on your upper back. And now slide your ears back to bring your head in line with your chest, a big breath in. And as you exhale, begin to bend your elbows and lower all the way down onto your belly. Let your hands stay as wide as your mat. Take up some space. Inhale for baby cobra or cobra as you lift your chest up. And on your exhale, take it back to downward facing dog, tabletop, or puppy pose for 3 slow, steady breaths. Even in the first few rounds, there's repetition in the breath. The inhales acknowledge the physical body, the mental body, the emotional body. And as you let each round of breath become longer and smoother and steadier, notice how your body shapeshifts and transforms around the breath itself. At the bottom of your exhale, take your time to lift your heels, soften your knees, peek forward, and come forward, feet to your hands, into your standing forward fold. As you inhale, come up halfway to lengthen. Lean more into the balls of your feet than into the heels. Bless you. As you exhale, fold in towards yourself. Use your own fists and measure those feet about 2 fists width apart, generally hip distance. And as you keep your toes pointing straight ahead for chair pose, bend your knees, sit your butt back, and hands can start on your thighs as you take a breath. Now let your butt get heavy to the back of your mat. Guide your knees open so they're in line with your second and third toes. You might press into your thighs to lift your chest away from the ground. Stay right here, or more support more heat in the upper body, you might reach your arms up to the sky. But listen for the breath. A deeper breath in and down. Stay for your exhale. Think butt heavy to the back of your mat as you lift your chest and your gaze away from the floor. Now on your inhale, come all the way up to rise. Reach up to touch the sky. And as you exhale, fold, bowing in towards yourself. Keep your right foot forward. Step your left foot all the way back to find your lunge. And bring your hands high up onto blocks or fingertips on either side of your right foot. Wiggle your left toes back an inch more to get longer in your stance. And as you stay in your lunge, take a breath to lift your chest, grow long through the spine. And on your exhale, fold as your front knee straightens. Let's go through that 2 more times. Big inhale brings you through to lunge. Bend the knee, lift your heart up. And exhale to fold as your right leg straightens. 1 more time. Wait for your breath more than my voice. Lunge as you breathe in. And exhale to fold as your front knee straightens. Now pause here with your legs straight. Take a few extra breaths. Can you wrap your left hip to the front of your mat? Tack your right hip to the back of your mat. And as you press the big toe side edge of your right foot down, you might bow in towards that straight right leg, breathing in through the nose. Stay for your exhale. Try to ungrip your fingers around the blocks as you bow in. Now stay with those legs straight. As you inhale, press into your blocks to come up halfway to lengthen. Reach your chest forward. Keep your left hand connected as you bring your right hand to your right hip. And now wrap your right hip to the back of the room. Shrug your right shoulder up and back, and from your belly, start to turn open to the right. You can stay right here. You might reach your right arm up to the ceiling for this variation of revolved triangle, but a bigger breath in through the nose. Stay for your exhale. Think right hip back. Shrug the right shoulder up and back as you lean back against yourself. On your next inhale, unwind, lower your right hand, bend your right knee, look forward, and all the hops you need to come back into your forward fold. Inhale to lengthen halfway. Try to tone the belly to support the low back. And as you exhale, fold in towards yourself. Second side, left foot stays forward as your right foot slides back to find your lunge. When your hands are up on blocks, it'll give your hips and your chest a little more room to move, but squeegee the right toes back an inch more. Now with your breath, inhale to lift the heart, grow long through the spine. And as you exhale, straighten your left knee as you bow in. 2 more times. Follow your breath. Big inhale through to lunge. And a slow exhale to straighten the leg. 1 more time. Take a longer breath in. And a deeper breath out. The 3rd time your left knee straightens. Pause here. Here, the hips sometimes want to spin open to the right. So can you lift your back heel higher up off the ground? Try to wrap your right hip to the front of your mat so the left hip has space to move back. You might feel that in the belly of your left hamstrings. Now, as much as you can keep those hips square to the front of the room, the elbows might soften to the sides as you bow in towards your straight left leg. A deeper breath in. Stay for the exhale. Unclench the fingers, soften the jaw as you fold. That's it. On an inhale, keep the legs as they are. Now press into your blocks to lift your chest. Come up halfway. Keep your right hand connected. Bring your left hand to your left hip crease. And you can give yourself your own little assist here. Use your hand to wrap your left butt cheek back. And now shrug your left shoulder up and back so the whole belly twists to the left. Stay here the entire time. Maybe your left arm reaches to the ceiling, but you breathe a deep breath in and down. Stay for the exhale. Think shoulder blades together and slide your ears back so your head rests in line with your heart. On your next inhale, unwind. Bend your front knee. Plant your palms onto your sticky mat and all the way back to downward facing dog. Take your time to find your way there. Pedal your heels one at a time from side to side. Notice any difference. And with those hands as wide as your mat, inhale brings you forward through to plank pose. Wait for the exhale to lower, Chaturanga Dandasana. Slow breath in for Cobra, Bhujangasana. Hug the shoulder blades together as you lift your heart up. And on your exhale, take it up and back to downward facing dog. A full breath in through the nose and a deeper breath out through your nose or mouth. Now take your time from your down dog. Lift your right leg up and back. Step your right foot through or around. You might also use your right hand to bring the right foot forward to catch your lunge. Now pivot your hands and feet over to the left and come into your wide-legged forward fold facing the long edge of your mat. A tiny bend in your knees, especially if they tend to lock. Your hands might be on blocks or the floor in front of you. But without moving your feet, can you try to lift and spread all 10 of your toes? See where the weight falls in the corners of your feet. Now keep the toes lifted as you breathe in. Hug your feet towards each other. Feel the inner thighs engage. Keep that as you lower your big toe first, then the rest of your toes as you bow in towards yourself. Remember the breath. Each inhale, there's this pulsation. The feet and legs hug together. Each exhale, the legs stay steady as you bow in towards yourself. Now take a breath. Let your head stay low. Begin to turn your right knee and toes to find your lunge. Let your hands frame out your right foot. And on an inhale, come up to rise for high lunge as you reach your chest and your arms up towards the ceiling. You might walk your right foot an inch over to the right so your feet are less on a tightrope. But just like in that pyramid pose, lift your back heel high, wrap your left hip forward and the right hip back. Now this time for trident in the arms, begin to bend your elbows, spread the fingers wide and hug the shoulder blades together. Let's go through that twice more. Big inhale to reach your arms up. As you exhale, elbows bend and the shoulder blades hug in. One more time, take a big breath. Even try to look away from the ground. And as you exhale, hug the shoulder blades together and bend one more inch into your front thigh. Now release your hands down onto the floor. Step it back to downward facing dog. Pedal your heels, a breath to notice. And a few more times together on an inhale, come forward to plank pose. As you exhale, lower Chaturanga Dandasana. Wait for the inhale to rise, Cobra, Bhujangasana. And exhale to take it back to downward facing dog with your breath more than my voice. One more side to try out. As you inhale, lift your left leg up and back. Step your left foot through or around to find your lunge. And now pivot your hands and feet over to the right to find your wide-legged forward fold on the second side. That's it. Some of us have knees that tend to lock really easily, even hyperextend. You might find a softness in your knees that you might not see with your eyes, but you can clearly feel. And now, without moving your legs, even try to lift and spread your toes again just for fun, and hug your feet together. Create a ripple in the middle of your mat. Now lower the big toe first, then spread the other 4 toes as they lower down without gripping as you bow in towards the earth, breathing in through the nose and all the way out through your nose or mouth. Nice, y'all. Let your head stay heavy. Turn your left knee and toes to find your lunge. As you breathe in, come up to rise for high lunge on the second side. Reach up to touch the sky. Take a breath as you find your way there. Walk your left foot as much as you need to the left. But as you lift your back heel, knee, and thigh high, can you look away from the ground as you breathe? A deep breath in. As you exhale, bend into your front thigh and bend your elbows into that trident shape. Twice more. Inhale to reach up. Stay for the exhale. Hug the shoulder blades together and spread your fingers. One more big breath in. Get 1 inch taller. Lift your gaze. And as you exhale, bend into your front thigh and kiss the shoulder blades together. Now lower your arms all the way down to the ground. Step it back to downward facing dog. And from your down dog, on an inhale, come forward to plank pose for a breath and lower all the way down onto your belly. Once you're on your belly, reach your arms alongside of you. Flip your palms down to face the floor. We'll do 2 rounds of Shalabhasana, locust pose. And for this one, with your arms heavy alongside, turn your palms to face the ground and push your palms into the floor to hug your shoulder blades together. Now hug your legs towards each other, like you could become the stick of the trident. And as you inhale, begin to lift your head. Lift your chest, float your arms up off of the ground, and exhale to lift your legs up and away from the earth. As you take flight, try to soften your gaze or even close your eyes and remember your own breath. You might feel each breath allowing you to create space. As you breathe in, your heart and chest might lift. As you exhale, the inner thighs might lift as you hug your legs together. On an inhale, the head and chest and arms might lift. As you exhale, the legs might lift 1 more centimeter. And now lower all the way down onto the ground. You can make a pillow with your palms. You might rest on one side of your cheek or on your forehead. But feel these rounds of breath wash their way over you yet again, breathing in through the nose and lengthening every exhale out. This time, second round, Shalabhasana. Now you get the option. You can do exactly what you just did with your arms alongside of you, or to come into that trident shape that we've done before. You'll bring your arms out to a T, bend your elbows, and press your palms flat into the floor. The legs by no means have to touch, but imagine you could hug them towards each other to become one energetic pillar. As you breathe in, start to lift your head, lift your chest, float your arms up off of the earth, and exhale to lift your legs up and away from the ground. So whether your arms are alongside of you or they're bent in that trident shape, hug your shoulder blades together and lift your elbows 1 more inch, lift your palms 1 more inch. Take a big breath in. Stay for the exhale to lift your inner thighs as you lift your chest up. And on an exhale, release all the way to the ground. Rest on the other side of your cheek, the other palm, and feel the full depth of your breath. Nice. After a few breaths here, bring your hands to either side of your chest. Press yourself up through to tabletop. Come onto your hands and your knees. We'll spend a few moments on the knees this time. So here to come in for the first of the thigh stretches, if you'd like a blanket for some extra padding, please feel free to find one. And you might also bring your hands up onto blocks as you come onto all fours into your tabletop position. But wherever you are, come to all fours and now step your right foot to the outside of your right hand. Come into your lizard lunge variation. Here, walk your left knee back so that your left thigh is more diagonal to the floor. And now keep your left hand connected onto a block as you bring your right palm up onto your right thigh. We come in for the twisted thigh stretch. From your belly, turn your chest open to the right. And now begin to bend your back knee and lift your left toes up off the floor. You might stay here the whole time, or your right hand might reach around for the top of your left foot. You might lasso a strap or grab onto the heel or leg of your pants. But as you come in for the twisted thigh stretch, think butt back towards your heel, and then shrug your right shoulder up and back to turn your chest to the right. There's so much to explore exactly where you are. Some other options, you might walk your left hand with or without the block forward of your left shoulder, like it's in down dog. You might lower your left forearm onto the block or onto the floor as your chest turns to the right. But breathe here, a deeper breath in and down. Stay for the exhale, think ribs back, and slide the ears back so your head is in line with your heart, breathing. On your next inhalation, take your time, look to the floor, slowly release your back foot, all the way back to tabletop, come onto hands and knees, and take a breath in between sides. You feel something in that left thigh? I'll take literally anything, even a whisper of, whoops, I don't know what's going on here, but the quads, in our yoga practice, we get so much into the hamstrings and every forward fold and down dog that the thighs are really where we're looking to create space. So a thigh stretch a day will keep some low back pain away. Let's do the other side. Left foot to the outside of your left hand, that lizard lunge. Now, because we set up from table, sometimes it means your right hip is right above your right knee. If that's the case for you, you might scooch your blanket back and walk your right knee back so your thigh is more diagonal to the earth. Keep your right hand rooted. Bring your left palm to your left thigh, and from the depths of your belly, start to twist open to the left. Like you did on side one, bend your back knee, lift your right toes up, and either your left hand reaches around for your left foot, your heel. You might find a strap to lasso around it as your chest turns to the left, and breathe. A slow breath in and down. As you exhale, you might bend into your front thigh as your belly and chest turns to the left. And now all of the variations apply. Stay right here for 2 more rounds of breath. You might walk your right hand forward of your right shoulder, or you might lower your right forearm down onto your block or the ground, but a deeper breath in and down. Stay for your exhale, slide the ribs back, the ears back, and turn your chest open to the left, breathing. That's it, y'all. Look to the floor, slowly release your back leg, plant your palms and take it back to tabletop. And now from table, we'll meet in downward facing dog for a breath longer as you lift your hips to the sky. From your downward facing dog, walk your feet to come as wide as your mat. A tiny bend in your knees, and one hand at a time, start to walk your palms back to meet your feet. So you fold somewhere in the back or middle-ish of your mat. Let your knees be soft here. Let your head be heavy. With your feet wide, your hands might touch the floor in front of your feet. You might gently catch opposite elbows, but let the weight of your head bow towards the earth. A deeper breath in and a longer breath out. Now slowly, after a few breaths, bring your hands to your hips. Stand through your legs, and a big inhale brings you up to rise as your hands come down by your sides. The fans are on. Drink water, pace yourself, take breaks at any point. We'll take a shoulder stretch to start. So here, if you have your strap, you can unravel it from its rubber band container. And go ahead and hold the strap between your hands somewhere at your low back. I like to start a little wider than hip distance. You might be closer or wider than where I am, but do let your feet come as wide as your mat and unlock your knees. Now bend your elbows quite a bit and hug your shoulder blades towards each other. Take a breath in to lift your chest, and you'll stay standing as you start to reach your arms off of your butt towards the back of the room. For some of us, just like the knees, the elbows love to lock. So try to straighten your arms without letting the elbows hyperextend. And now tug your strap apart, kiss the shoulder blades together, and slide your ears back so your head is over your chest. A big breath in and a longer breath out. Now tiny bend in your knees. Keep your arms lifted as you start to hinge from your hips and fold over your legs, reaching your arms to the sky. Unlock your knees. Unlock your elbows, please. And as you gently tug your strap apart, kiss the shoulder blades together, feel your chest broaden, and maybe your arms go overhead towards the front of the room without letting the elbows lock, breathing in through the nose and all the way out through the nose or mouth. Now slowly release your hands back to your butt. Ditch your strap off to the side if you used it. And one hand at a time, start to walk your palms back forward to come to downward facing dog. A big breath in through the nose and a deeper breath out through your nose or mouth. Now here, do have your blocks framing out the front of your mat. We'll definitely use them in our next few poses. And from down dog, on an inhale, lift your right leg up and back. Step your right foot through or around to find your lunge. And just like we did before, as you breathe in, come up to rise for high lunge one more time. Reach your arms to the sky. Walk your right foot an inch over to the right. Let your feet be less on that balance beam. And as you lift your back heel, knee, and thigh, look away from the ground and bend one more inch into your front thigh. Now begin to bend your elbows into that cactus shape, trident. Hug the shoulder blades together as you lift your heart up. A big breath in and a longer breath out. This time, bring your hands to your hips. We're coming up to stand. A tiny bend in your back knee. Get springy and take all the hops you need to scoop your left thigh to your chest. You can always tap your left toes to a block out in front of you, but like you did when you were lying down, interlace your hands underneath your left thigh. Press your left thigh down into your palms. Shrug your shoulders up and together as you lift your chest. Stay right here breathing, or you might begin to straighten your left leg like you could foot high five me in front of you. A deep breath in. Stay for the exhale as you offer the breath out. And now everyone bend your left knee. Reach your arms up to the sky. Get 3 inches taller than you've been before and thread your left foot back to lunge. Tap your hands to your blocks on either side of your right foot. So with your hands on blocks at their highest height, start to look forward. We're still going to work on this left leg, or the right leg. For supported warrior 3, begin to walk your blocks forward of your right foot. Lean into your blocks as you lift your left leg up off the ground. And now remember, it's not about how high the left leg is, but can it be active? Flex your left foot, straighten your left leg. And as you hug your left thigh an inch to the middle, reach back through your left heel and slide your heart forward. You might keep your hands on those blocks the entire time, or any of those variations. Maybe your hands float up to your hips. Maybe your arms come into trident with the elbows bent as you breathe. A deeper breath in through the nose. Stay for the exhale. Think left heel back and bottom of your heart forward. And now lower your hands to the blocks. Bend your right knee to step your left foot back. Step your right foot back to take it to downward facing dog. Right butt cheek on fire. Take a breath. See the difference from side to side. Questions about it before we go to the second side? Okay, last round. We'll knock it right out of the park. Lift the left leg up and back. Step your left foot through or around to find your lunge. We start in that high lunge. Big inhale to reach up, to touch the sky. Take your time. As you walk your left foot an inch over to the left, feel your back, heel, knee, and thigh. Stretch up through the fingertips. Bend into your front leg. And now nothing in the lower body changes as you trident those arms. Bend your elbows. Think bottom ribs back. Hug the shoulder blades together and slide your palms back so they come over the elbows. A big breath in. Stay for the exhale. And now hands come to your hips. Soften your back knee. Take all the hops you need to scoop your right thigh to your chest. Always the right toes can tap the block in front of you. But as you interlace that awkward index finger on top, bring your hands underneath your right thigh. Think thigh down. Hug the shoulders up and together. Stay right here. Unlock your standing knee, please. The voice of Shiva himself descending upon you. Maybe the right leg straightens. But try to look away from the earth as you take a full breath in and down. Stay for the exhale. Grow 1 inch taller through the crown of your head. And now maybe the right leg stays straight. Maybe you bend it as you reach your arms up to the sky. A big breath in. And on your exhale, thread your right foot all the way back to lunge. Tap your hands to your blocks on either side of your left foot. And now look forward. Virabhadrasana 3 with support. Walk your blocks forward of your left foot. Lean into your blocks to lift your right leg up off the ground. Sometimes the right hip and toes want to spin open to the right to lift it higher. Try to do the opposite. Turn your right hip down, flex your right foot, straighten your right knee, and imagine your right heel could kick to the wall behind you as you slide your chest forward. How long can you get? Stay here the whole time. Or the more your heart lifts, they might come lighter onto fingertips on those blocks. Maybe your hands come to your hips. Or you trident the arms, bringing your elbows in line with your shoulders and your palms in line with your elbows. A big breath in. Stay for 1 more exhale. Beautiful, y'all. And then lower your hands, soften your left knee, tap your right foot back to lunge, step your left foot back for downward facing dog, and a breath or two to feel gravity beneath you. You can stay right here breathing. You can always lower your knees down and take your breaths closer to gravity. Or your breaths might take you through those linking rounds of vinyasas that we've done together before. But anywhere you choose to go, can you feel that repetition of your breath? Each inhale fills you in and down. Each exhale is an offering through every fiber of your being. After a few breaths, let's all meet in tabletop, lower down to your knees. And from your table, you'll come to lie onto your back, just like we started, with your head facing the front of the room, feet facing the back of the room. Before you get too comfortable, have a couple things close. So have those therapy balls close by if anyone needs some. Feel free to lay down, raise a hand, and I can bring some over to you. We'll use them soon. And have one of your blocks within a grabbable distance too. So just things that you can find without having to get up to find them. Now once you find the therapy balls and blocks, set them off to the side. Bend your knees, bring both feet onto the floor. And let your arms rest on your belly or on your chest. Close your eyes for a moment and call yourself back to your breath. Virabhadrasana 3. It's a balancing pose. It's an active pose. It's a pose that requires every plane of yourself, the physical body, the emotional body, the mental body. And so as you take 3 rounds of breath here, you literally call yourself back to your own breath, to feel the ground underneath you. Now keeping that connection to your breath, for a supine hip opener, cross your right ankle over your left thigh for figure 4. So do your best here to flex your right foot to support your right knee and ankle. And now you might stay exactly as you are the entire time with your upper back and head heavy. For something different, perhaps you lift your left foot, interlace your fingers behind your left thigh as you flex your left foot. You might even bring a strap around your left thigh if you'd like to lift it up. But as you flex through your feet, Shrug your shoulders to the ears. Wiggle your shoulder blades towards one another. And as you close your eyes, try to breathe into all of those parts of you touching the floor. Parts of your low back, parts of the back of your chest, and even the back of your head. Slow down that breath. If your hands are interlaced, slowly release them. Lower your left foot down onto the floor and uncross your ankle as you lower your feet to the ground. Watching for any neighbors or props, bring your feet as wide as your mat and just a counter pose before the second side with your knees bent, feet on the ground. Drop your knees from right to left, feeling the internal rotation of one hip and knee versus the other as you breathe. And now as your knees and feet come back through center, we got the other side to try out. Cross your left ankle over your right thigh and pause here for a few breaths. Flex your left foot and let the back of your head be heavy to the ground. And now remember, hips are very different, so it may feel appropriate to stay right here. Or again, you might lift your right foot and interlace that awkward index finger on top behind your right thigh. Do your best to flex through both feet to support the knees and ankles. And as you bring the shoulders to the ears, snuggle the shoulder blades together, gently press the center back of your skull down, and imagine the corners of your shoulders and the corners of your hips are like a fitted sheet, trying to soften onto your mat, breathing. After a few breaths, as your hands release and you lower both feet to the ground, one more time, windshield wiper your knees from one side to the other, and notice any difference from side to side. After you've gone evenly from right to left, you can pause here with your feet on the ground, or you might hug your knees in towards your chest or belly. Or perhaps you find your variation of happy baby as you widen your knees and thighs and let your hands catch the backs of your thighs, your calves, your ankles, or the pinky edges of your feet. But see if the back of your head and your tail can get heavier to the ground as you take a big breath in and exhale to slowly release the hold of your legs to the earth. Now here are some options. This afternoon, I'll talk you through some therapy ball work in the glutes, since we've spent so much time there in Warrior Threes. If you'd prefer to set up early for rest, you're more than welcome to do so. We'll meet you there very soon. But for those interested in the therapy balls in the glutes, you'll take them out of their tote, hold one in each hand, bend your knees, feel your feet on the ground, and as you lift your butt just a few inches, slide the therapy balls to the top of your butt cheeks. So think less on the bones of your pelvis, but more in the muscle and flesh of your glutes. And again, there's no wrong place for those therapy balls to go, somewhere you can breathe in and be curious about. And once you find a place, let your arms get heavy alongside of you. Take a big breath in through the nose and open your mouth to let that breath out. We'll begin the slow swivel. So with your knees bent, feet on the floor, keep your feet steady as you move your butt a few inches to the right and your knees a few inches to the left. Feel the therapy balls move towards your left butt. And then the other side, butt to the right and knees slightly to the left. And as you go on your own, you zigzag your butt and your knees away from each other and start to feel the therapy balls move along the upper fibers of your glutes, breathing. Try to slow down your next breath in and even open your mouth to let the exhales out. And now once you've gone evenly a few times from side to side, draw your knees and hips back through center and use your hands to lower the therapy balls another inch or two. Come more to the middle of your butt cheeks. they'll get wider apart. So here, I like to start them pretty close together. But once you find this new place right in the middle of your tush, let your arms get heavy, take a big breath in, and open your mouth to let that breath out. Begin that swivel again. Sway your hips a few inches to the right and knees to the left, and hips to the left and knees to the right, or vice versa. What you'll feel is as your butt is moving from side to side, the therapy balls are moving along the middle of your butt cheeks. And over time, eventually, they might come more towards the outer edges of your hips, the outer seams of your pants. Once you find them there wider than where they first started, let them stay wide as you bring your hips and knees back through center. And now heel toe both of your feet over to the left side of your mat and drop just your right knee to the right so that right therapy ball finds its way into your outer right butt cheek. And again, there's a whole world in there. For some of us, this is a place you can breathe in. For others, this is like a trident poking into the side of your butt. But you might have found one attachment of your piriformis or some muscles around it. And if you have, see if you can unclench your fists and fingers, unclench your right butt cheek as you breathe. And now for the other side, as you draw your right knee back through center, walk your feet through center, heel toe your feet over to the right side of your mat, and drop just your left knee to the left so that left therapy ball finds its way into your outer left tush. Big inhale in. And a longer breath out. Now, after a few breaths, as you draw your knees and feet back through center, use your hands to pop the therapy balls out and let the weight of your butt drop down onto the ground. Take a breath into what you don't ordinarily see with your eyes, but you can more than clearly feel. And the next place to meet is in your pose of rest. So we'll come, I got it, Melanie, don't worry. We'll come into your version of Shavasana. So do let the therapy balls fully clear off to the side, for sometimes if they stay for rest, they'll create more tension than softness. But as you set up for Shavasana, take your time to use anything it is that you need. Any props to support you, any layers to add. You might let your hair down or set your glasses safely off to the side for the time being. But let it be a pose not where you're seeking one final sensation or stretch, but where your entire body can drape itself onto the earth. Because it's here, the ultimate pose of destruction, the ultimate pose of dissolution, the pose where your body goes to dissolve the entire practice that was. So this feeling of yourself as this breath-filled and spacious being is what we get to carry off of the mat into the world around. So as you continue to feel the ease and steadiness of your breath, can you let each breath slowly dissolve the entire practice that was? Allow for each breath to help you arrive to where you are now. And each breath that comes after creates a little more room for what has yet to come. Allow for each round of your breath to let your body become heavier against the earth. And the heavier your body becomes, the more spacious you may just start to feel. Begin to deepen your breath. Take a longer breath in and a deeper breath out. Take another breath in and down so it fills you up completely. And exhale to offer all of that breath out. Let your breath begin to awaken the body that you're in with any gentle movement that feels supportive to you. You might roll your wrists or your ankles in one or the other direction. Perhaps you tilt your head gently from one side to the other, heavy against its support. Or being mindful of any props or neighbors, perhaps your arms reach away from your legs, or you draw your knees in towards your chest. But when the time comes, begin to bend both knees, feel your feet flat on the earth as you reach one or both arms overhead. Begin to roll over to any side of your choice to curl into yourself. With the least amount of effort required, press down into the floor and come up to rise to a tall seat facing the front of the room. With your eyes softly closed or softly open, can you return back to that repetition of your own breath? Taking a slow breath in and down, letting it fill you up. And an exhale that moves up and out in every direction. Our time together will finish with one more of those breaths. You can draw your hands to center, anywhere that may feel for you, as you take a deep breath in to offer all of it out. You might bow your head to your heart or lift your hands towards your head in such a simple but exquisite gesture of self-reverence, bowing to every aspect and every version of yourself and those of who practiced right alongside with you. And I bow to each and every one of you all and all that you are. Thank you so much for being here. Drink water. Take good care of yourselves and one another. If there's any props or things you used from the studio or your own that you want to give a swipe with, there's a fresh bouquet of wipes in the grocery store robot-looking trash can that's here. That always alarmed me. And otherwise, I'll see you soon. There's a few announcements. There's Kai's Rooted and Ready workshop this evening, and then this Friday, which is the official spring equinox. Yay! Sarah Hummel, who owns Formation Sauna up in Fishtown, and Lynn Gallagher, who has for the past 5 years been the healing witch who has given me the greatest facials of my entire life. She's in massage school right now, so you can only catch her very infrequently. But the two of them are collaborating on a spring equinox celebration. It's this Friday from 7 to 9 here. And I've been to the fall ones. I've been to a few before. It's beyond lovely. So if you're free, all that's on the internet. And then otherwise, oh my God, this weekend is busy. If you love the therapy ball stuff, Mariel's doing a 75-minute exclusive therapy ball workshop called Roll into Renewal. It's on Sunday from 1 to 2:15. So you can just roll around and then call your emergency contact to come pick you up because you might not know where you are or who you are. And then go home. That's it for me. Anyone else have announcements?
Great intro.
Thank you.
Enjoyed that.
Good, I'm glad. Any things in your worlds to see, to go to do? I feel like the plant sales are, I just went today to the Habitat for Humanity Restore on Washington, and all of the plants that were in the flower show, they donated, and they are so cheap. They're like half dead, but I think they can be revived. I bought like 20 plants for $28, and one of those plants at Home Depot goes for like $50. Like same range, tulips, pansies. I got some yarrow. It's on Washington, like past Broad Street, the Habitat for Humanity Restore. There's like a flat of things that unless you're very good at knowing what dead things are, you might be able to find it. I could only figure out a few, but it's worth a shot. They're like so cheap that it's just worth trying out. Yeah.
Did you place it all in the flower show?
I did. I got 2 first place and 1 second place.
What was your category?
Woody stems and a witch hazel. I did witch hazel branches. But Miss Queen Bee over here got a frilly ribbon, which is the ultimate of the ultimate for her Hoyas.
Nice.
I'm like, I know a superstar.
I'm like, I know which plants I'm gonna.
Yeah. Keep your eyes peeled. I don't know if they send out like reminders if you're part of the newsletter, but keep your eyes peeled in like November, December, January. Yeah. Did you get to go this year?